It's Thursday, the 15th of January, and here are some headlines making wave on the news dailies. We begin with the Punch newspaper. On the Punch newspaper, on the bottom surface, we have Trump order may delay 5,000 intended Nigerian immigrants, and the stories on the page 2 of the Punch newspaper. We on the sub story we have 70,621 Nigerians got immigrant, non-immigrant U.S. visas in 2024. And new U.S. visa restrictions hit Nigeria and 74 others. If you want more of the story, go to the page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Going down, we have federal government orders banks and fintechs to remit VAT on service fees. More of that story, you will find it on the page 6 of the Punch newspaper. Lagos dispatch rider bags 7-year jail term for trafficking tramadol. You find the story on the pages 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. NPAN, NGE, Mon News Watch co-founder Mohammed, and the stories on the page 9 of the Punch newspaper. May his gentle soul rest in perfect peace. Moving on, going up, we have federal government and ASU unveil agreement to end strikes. That story is on the page 6 of the Punch newspaper. 2025 AFCON Eagles crash out on penalties to Morocco. If you want more of the stories, go to the page 16 of the Punch newspaper. Opposition knocks federal government over alleged $9 million US lobbying deal. If you want to read more of that story, go to the page 3 of the Punch newspaper. We also have other picture stories. We also have an urgent call to action, call off referees and pass the electoral bill 2025. That story, if you want more of it, go to the page 13 of the Punch newspaper. That's the urgent call to action. Moving to the next, which is the Vanguard. This morning on the Vanguard newspaper, on the bottom surface, we have 60 years after and why Nzeogu's coup was inevitable. This was said by Major General Haruna, retired. The story is on the page 12 of the Vanguard newspaper. The sub-stories, the bloody coup that changed Nigeria forever. The Nzeogu are interacted with by Alabi Isama. Story of coups in Nigeria. This was said by Akinyola, and the Idemuleguns call for Tinubu's attention. All the stories go to the page 12 if you want more of it on the Vanguard newspaper. Sitting right on the page 56 of the Vanguard newspaper is US freezes visa processing for Nigeria. 74 orders over welfare dependence. Go to the page 56 of the Vanguard newspaper to see more of that story. Opadokun's book, The Gun Hegemony for presentation today. This is exciting, and you will find more of the exciting story on the page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. Tinubu NGE Ododo mourn as Yakubu Mohammed dies at 75. What a celebration of life, and you'll find the story on the page 7 of the Vanguard newspaper. Edo protests, excitement envelops Ekpoma over release of remanded students. On the page 21, you will find more of the stories. It's sitting right there, and go there to get more updates concerning this Edo protest. Moving on, we have Gallant Super Eagles crash out on penalties against Morocco. This is on the page 64. If you want to know exactly what happened at the match, go to page 64 of the Vanguard newspaper. Going up, we have Dangote Refinery to achieve 1.4 million BPD expansion in 3 years. And you'll find a story on the page 20 of the Vanguard newspaper. I received threats over tax reforms. So this was said by Oyedele, and on the sub story of that story, it says 96% of Nigerians personal income tax from low income earners, and the stories on the pages 9. They are on the pages 9 and pages 20 of the Vanguard newspaper. Federal government and ASU sign pact to end strike in universities. The stories on the page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. We can't wait for children to go back to school. Impeachment. 2 Rivers lawmakers backtrack, call for political solution to crisis. This is on the page 21 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. I'm moving on to the next, which is the Guardian newspaper. On the Guardian newspaper today, we have an ambassador's absence, desperation, exposed federal government $9 million lobbying in US. And the story is on the page 6 of the Guardian newspaper, sitting right on the burning surface, which is in the paper. It is on the page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. XSSG alleges Katsina local government budgets 300 million naira to pay bandits. The stories on the page 28 of the Guardian newspaper. Falana demands immediate release of Edo protesters. The stories on the page 7. On the page 7 of the Guardian newspaper. And if you go to the page 8 of the Guardian newspaper, you will see cracks emerge as more Rivers lawmakers push back on Fubara's impeachment. You'll find the story on the Guardian newspaper this morning on the page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Concerns as 10 MDAs budget 24 billion naira for software this year. The stories on the page 15 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Tinubu, Mark, NPAN columnist, Mon News Watch co-founder Mohammed. And the story is on the page 5 of the Guardian newspaper. TUC demands immediate withdrawal of no work, no pay directive for health workers. Go to the page 28 of the Guardian newspaper and you will find that story sitting right there. Moving to the next, professors to earn extra 1.8 million naira yearly in new federal government ASU pact. And the story is on the page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Dangote assures Nigerians of price stability and listing of refinery stocks. On the page 3, you will find that story sitting right there of the Guardian newspaper. Nigeria's oil production falters as federal government sets terms for bid round licenses. So the story is on the page 4 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. And finally, we have the Daily Times. The Daily Times newspaper. On the burning surface, we have Nigeria's prison population rises by 16.8% in 8 years, outpacing prison capacity. The sub-story, more than half remanded for stealing, another half awaiting trial. And at 9,209, Lagos holds highest inmate population nationally. Other stories, if you want more of it, go to the page 2 of the Daily Times newspaper. Going down, we have spending $9 million on image laundering, insensitive, defective, deceptive. PDP blasts the federal government. If you want more of that stories, it is on the Daily Times newspaper. You will find it there. We also have, going up, we have NIMET approves updated conditions of service to boost staff welfare efficiency. That's also on the Daily Times newspaper. We also have gold, lithium, plants position Nigeria as Africa's mineral supply hub. This was said by Alake, and you find the story on the Daily Times newspaper. And that's all for the newspaper headlines today. And if any of the headline story caught your attention, you can get a copy of the newspaper and read.